What's going on, Godzirra Nation? This is Arghgodzirra. Welcome back to round 5 AFL tipping for the 2020 season. And what a messed up round it is going to be, because so much shit's going down. COVID is taking over Victoria. Other states aren't going to let Victorian teams in. It's all going down, and we've had our first reshuffling midweek of an AFL fixture. Very entertaining stuff. We'll get to that in a second. Because before we start, we are heading into round 5, which means this is the final week you will be eligible to join the competition and win some prizes at the end of the year. In order to be eligible, you just need to make sure you subscribe to my channel. So make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. There is 26 other people this year in my tipping competition with myself. Officially the biggest amount of people I've had in a tipping competition so far, which is still a small amount compared to some, but I appreciate every single one of you that has gotten on board. There's still plenty of room for you to jump on in. So, by doing so, you can follow this URL on the screen. There is a link in the description down below, which is the same URL, which will take you to this competition. Dive on in. It'll automatically take all your previous scores, throw you into the... It's all good. It's going down. It's great. With that out of the way, let's look at last week's tips. I tipped 6. It started off pretty poorly because I backed Sydney and the Bulldogs won. I backed Collingwood, GWS won. Port Adelaide got me a bit of redemption. My boys just keep disappointing this season, Richmond. But then it's nothing but green lights all the way home. So I got 6 out of the potential 9 games. But there were a handful of you that outbeat me. There is 5 teams this week that tipped 7. So Benjamin, Dylan, Wade, Heath, and Jason, you guys took out number 1, I suppose, for round 4. So congratulations to you guys. As for the overall leaderboard, let's have a quick rundown. Leading the way by 1 tip is Heath. It is what it is. 25 total tips with a margin of 101. Alex in 2nd, Michael in 3rd, Jason in 4th, Damien in 5th, Benjamin in 6th, Marcus in 7th, Wade in 8th, Dominic in 9th, Taj in 10th, myself in 11th, Brandon in 12th, Mark in 13th, Tristan in 14th, Sean in 15th, Dylan in 16th, Con in 17th, Troy in 18th, Oliver in 19th, Zach in number 20, with Flynn, Kamal, Alec, Jake, Bo, Corey, and David rounding out the 27. And as I said, there's still room for you to join, so just follow that link down below. But let's turn our attention to round number 5, which has seen a bit of a shake-up, because this match right here, Thursday night, should have been West Coast v Richmond, and I was actually looking forward to that match because that match is a game I feel Richmond needed to win to get a little bit of clarity back. But instead, we're seeing Carlton take on St Kilda. In previous years, this would have been a boring as fuck game to watch, but given the circumstances this year and how both of these teams have played so far, this is actually going to be a bit of a cracker. However, no denying it here. St Kilda looked great against Richmond. I've got to back St Kilda here. I think they are going to get it done by 27 points. No, 27. Thank you very much. And they're looking hot to trot. If they can keep this pressure throughout the season, they could be finals bound. Bastards. Anyway, Friday night, MCG, Collingwood Essendon. We can't back against Collingwood's running form so far this year. Even though they dropped the ball last week, I still think they played a great game, and they lost Jeremy Howe, which is a big hit. Going to be interesting to see how they go without him in defence for the rest of the season, because I think he will be out for the rest of the year. But I think they still comfortably get it done against Essendon. Saturday, Metricon Stadium, West Coast, Sydney. Now this is a tough call because it's all coming in for West Coast, but Sydney didn't play too bad against the Bulldogs. I mean, Papley pretty much kicked all their score, basically, but Metricon has not been favourable for the West Coast Eagles at all this season. With that being said, I think they get the win this weekend. I think I still would have rather Richmond v West Coast in Metricon. Anything can happen in this game, but I think West Coast start to find a little bit of form here. And once they get that running home track at Perth, they're going to fly into the top 8. I'm sure of it. But I think this is where things will start shifting for them. Backing West Coast. Geelong Gold Coast at GMHBA. I am going to back Geelong. However, upset of the round, I'm calling it early, is going to be the Gold Coast defeating Geelong. If Gold Coast beat Geelong here, I am giving them every single chance to play finals in 2020. And I didn't think I'd ever fucking say that. But they're looking pretty good, Gold Coast. They're proving that the shorter quarters, the shorter game time, is perfect to get youngsters out there and get some game experience. So I'm hoping my team, Richmond Tigers, can take something out of their book, play some young kids, get some games into them. I think this year, given the circumstances of the season, it's the perfect time to blood some youth is what I was trying to say. Anyway, while I'm tongue-tied, we're going to move on to Western Bulldogs taking on North Melbourne. Going to go the Doggies. Going to go the Doggies, even though North Melbourne fast finishing against Hawthorn, just missing out on the points. I think the Bulldogs coming back against Sydney last week, they're going to be up and about. Could be wrong. This is probably one of the only 50-50 flips I think we've had so far. Carlton might be 50-50, but I think you could solidly pick a winner here. But this one, even though 81% is going with the Bulldogs, North Melbourne can do North Melbourne things here. They can either lie down and get belted, or they're going to stand up to the occasion and roll the Doggies. But I'm going to back the Doggies in. Final game of Saturdays at the Gabba, Port Adelaide taking on Brisbane. And from what I saw on the weekend, I was vastly more impressed with Brisbane than I was with Port Adelaide. So I'm backing Brisbane to win. 10 goals, 23 behinds. I can't remember the last time a team had 33 scoring shots on the board. And even though they were playing Adelaide, and I know Adelaide's pretty woeful this year, I think Brisbane could be a real premiership threat. This is going to be a good game, because this could be two teams facing off in the grand final this year. Who knows? But I'm going to back the Lions to get it done. Sunday sees the bottom of the ladder taking it on. Yeah, it is the bottom of the ladder. Fremantle, Adelaide. The winner of this game picks up their first win for the season. The loser remains without a win. And unfortunately, Adelaide, I think it's you guys that are going to be without a win, because I am backing Fremantle, even without Nat Fyfe, to get the job done here. Just feel Fremantle so far have shown a lot more this season than Adelaide have. And I think they're going to get the cookies this week. They're going to get the biscuit. Don't worry about that. Here we go. My boys taking on Melbourne at the MCG. I'm backing Richmond. I don't always back Richmond. I do back against us if I feel we're going to lose, but I feel this week could be the week we bounce back. Holy fuck, we need to bounce back this week, please. That's all I'm going to say on the subject. I hope we bounce back this week. Final game of the round, GWS Hawthorn. Going to be a very good contest, this game. Another 50-50 flip. Even though majority have gone with GWS, Hawthorn could come out and do a bit of damage, but I'm tipping GWS. And we're going to lock in those tips. So, let's have a quick recap. I'm going with St Kilda, Collingwood, West Coast, Geelong, Western Bulldogs, Brisbane, Fremantle, Richmond, and GWS. Don't forget, in the comment section down below, let me know who you think your certainty and your upset of the round is going to be. As I said, I think Gold Coast upsetting Geelong would be upset of the round. I think the certainty is Collingwood over Essendon. Could be taking an easy way out going that game, but I think that's the certainty for myself. As I said at the top of the video, link in the description down below with this URL. One more week to join after round 5. If you do join, you will be ineligible to win prizes. And I have got a list of the people already in the competition. Just make sure you're subscribed, because I don't want you guys pulling the wool over my eyes. But that's another round of tipping done. I hope your team goes well this weekend. I hope you tip well as well. Hopefully I can make some moves up the ladder this week. But that's it from me, guys. I'm out of here, and as always, I will catch you guys next time.